Hello, I'm Mr. Chow. I teach photography, I teach advanced art, and I also teach design classes here at Monte Vista High School.
So, first question: if you could switch lives with a fictional character for a day, who would it be?
That's a really good question. The first thing that popped up to me in my mind was probably a Star Wars character, so I'd probably pick Yoda, just because Yoda's really wise and he pretty much kicks ass.
What do you like about Yoda?
He kicks butt. Yoda, what do I like about him?
Yeah.
I
Any
think,
qualities?
I think it's because he's really wise. He can really use that lightsaber really well. He's very powerful. Uh, yeah.
Um, if you could visit one historical event in time, what would it be?
That's a good question. I think the first thing that popped in my head, and I know exactly why, um, I'd want to be, I guess, here in the West Indies, as they would call it, or the Caribbean, when Christopher Columbus thought he discovered America. I would have been there, like to been there, to tell him otherwise, and to send him packing.
Why is that?
Just all the colonialism that happened with the United States. I think that would have been an interesting moment to change that course of history, that moment.
What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done outside the classroom?
That's a great question. I can't really think of one particular adventurous moment, but I do remember one time, and it's related to students, was snowboarding. I was probably in my fourth year teaching, maybe second year teaching, something like that, early on in my career. And I saw some students on the slopes snowboarding, and we were about to go off some jumps, and they were behind me. So I thought, there's no way that I can't show up and go off those jumps. So I nailed every single jump, full speed, full height, flying through the air. I had no idea if they were watching. All I know is I just needed to land every jump, and that was pretty cool. That was pretty fun. That's definitely out of my comfort zone.
Were they your students or just
They
students?
were my
as well?
students. They were my students.
Oh, you went on a snowboarding trip with your students?
No, I went on a snowboarding trip by myself with my friends, and then they happened to be there, and so I ran into them on the slopes. So it was pretty fun.
What's the most unexpected skill or talent that you possess?
Um, I think I don't know if it's unexpected, but it's skateboarding. I can skateboard, skateboard big ramps before in the past, and skate parks too as well. So that's a pretty unexpected skill, I think, that I have.
Do you know any moves or anything like that?
Not really much anymore, other than not hurting myself really badly. Just a few tricks, just lip tricks, so grinds and stuff like that.
What's the funniest or most memorable classroom moment you've had?
It happened actually in this room. One of the ones I'm thinking of. I had a student who is a hockey player, and he brought his gloves to school one day. So he had his gloves on his hands, his hockey gloves. The hockey gloves, most people don't wash them, so they get really smelly from sweat and all that type of stuff, and so it gets really, really bad. And so one of his friends wanted to try on his hockey gloves. So he said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead, try them on." And so he puts the hockey gloves on, and he takes them off, and he tells him, "Smell your finger." And he smells his finger, and he goes, and he has this just overreaction. It was the most comical reaction ever, and that was pretty funny. So I don't know if that was the funniest moment, but that was pretty funny though.